I'm here today because my dear girlfriend Sandra, she's actually sick. So that was on very short notice I got these opportunities to stand here for interview today. But I promised her one thing when she looked up to me with these really sad eyes, to be honest. She said to me, "It's very important that you focus on the mission I was supposed to deliver today." So that's a high, very it's a strong mission. And my focus would be to really learn, not to learn, but to share some of the things, because she was going through a very difficult time, my dear Sandra. She was actually having burnout, she was depressed, and she was not finding any motivation in life. At some stage she was actually thinking of ending her life, but she was not finding purpose in life. And she was very addicted to, what you call, can we say, to flee from the reality. But when she started to understand more that, okay, if I flee from reality, every time I do that, it comes back, and it's even worse the next time I see itself in the mirror. So she learned a few very strong tools that I'm going to speak about today. And we have been her lab rats, is that the right word? Yeah? Because every test project, every time she comes back from this self-mastery coaching course, she tries everything on us. So it works. It's actually true. I feel really better today than I was before. But what it's also about is about to not suppress your emotions, but to feel them, to actually feel them. And you see a red thread through all the different speakers here today. We speak about not suppressing our feelings, but actually go through them and to feel them. And an emotion is actually only 90 seconds. If you don't add fuel to it, it's only 90 seconds. The chemical explosion in your body when you are triggered from something, it's actually only 90 seconds. So if you can learn how to just let it out, your life will be much more better and easier. I will speak more about it after Kine has presented herself here.
Hello, I'm Kine Johansen. I'm 33 years old and I'm a yoga teacher studying to be a Rosen method therapist as well. I've been working 13 years in the service industry as everything from a runner to a manager. So I'm very used to high stress environments. And at some point I also suffered from burnout and PTSD. And I've been using the last 4 years to study yoga and the nervous system and what it can do. So I teach yoga in maybe a little bit of a different way. I focus only on the psoas, the perineum, and the hips. Because when we work with these areas, often a lot of triggers come up, such as flight and fight, freeze, and running away from your feelings. So we try to embody both the yoga and these self-mastery techniques to actually feel all the emotions that come up during the yoga sessions. So that's what I want to give to bigger companies, that if we focus maybe half an hour on hips, psoas, and deepening our breath and activating that life force, we can manage burnout.
Thank you very much. Okay, I will turn us down.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know if anyone have seen something like this before, but you know our brain has 3 different stages. Yeah, some of you nod, I see that. That's very, actually, this is very interesting. When you understand where you are, you also understand where you don't want to be honest. And many of the leaders today working with employees, they are not only their leaders, they're also their mothers and fathers and sisters and brothers and cousins, almost like that, because they have a very deep connection with them many times. But if they don't understand where their colleagues are in these 3 different stages, it's very difficult for them to work with them. So what we want to give big companies or small companies or whoever wants to learn this, we want to give them tools so the leaders can help their colleagues to get from one stage to another. Not only to make them feel better, but to actually also to complete the tasks they were given in a much smoother and better way. So by changing your state of mind, you also will change the outcome of everything you do. It's very easy to say, but it's very difficult to actually do this. It's not difficult, but it's difficult to really get into the tone to do it, because many times when we are in a threat, it's very difficult to just sit down and breathe, right? And when we are in activation or drive, it's very difficult to keep us to stop doing what we're doing, because the body is just fueling with achievements and dopamine and all that stuff. But if we have a work environment where all these three stages are spoken about, we learn about them, we learn how we get into them, how we learn how to regulate these different phases and stages, we can also have a smoother day. Not only in life, not only at work, in life. Maybe it's very difficult to always be here, but it's absolutely very difficult in the long run to always be in threat or in activation. So what we want to do on My Own Life, and we all have a website where we promote all this stuff. We really want to help not only company leaders, but everyone in the company to understand what feelings are, how the brain works, and how to change your one state of mind to another. And when you learn this, everything will change in your life. Absolutely. Want to add something?
Yeah, when we work with these things, we have this part of our brain that somebody else talked about as well, the amygdala. And when we practice yoga, meditation, or mastering our feelings, the amygdala takes less space and produces less cortisol and adrenaline, and we don't get as triggered in these situations. So learning to manage our feelings will create a safer space for everybody.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, Gina.
Psychological safety does not arise from policy, it arises from regulated people.
Yeah. And regulated people, I just want to say this again, maybe I will say this twice now, but when a human being is regulated, everything changes. But if we don't know how, and many people don't even realize that they are living in threat or in activation or whatever, 24/7, they don't know it. So that's why we think that if we get more of this information out to big companies, small companies, whoever want to learn this, they can help themselves and they can help their colleagues to have a nicer, better life. It's not a joke. I've lived through it. I've lived in threat and whatever, 24/7. I thought I was effective, but I was just running around doing almost the same task every day and never actually being complete. It was insane. Actually, it was really insane. But when you learn, and not only that, one of the most important things is to actually to be honest with yourself and say, I'm not where I need to be now. Right now. Am I in this mode? Am I in this brain, whatever you want to call it, where we're going to have a regulated talk with an employee? Maybe not. Maybe this employee actually looks like your mother-in-law, and she triggers everything around you that actually has nothing to do with her. It has to do with your mother-in-law, but the person has so close energetically, so your nervous system reacts on her. You understand? And this is what we go around all the time when we are being triggered by people that are actually not the trigger itself. It's maybe not mother-in-law. This was just a joke. My mother-in-law was very fantastic, but some human beings that destroyed your inner peace when you were young or whatever. But we don't understand it because no one learns this to us. So we just run around and think that everybody is a mother-in-law. No, but we run around and think, this person is like that because of me or because of her, but it's not because of her or me, it's because my nervous system is dysfunctional of all the other people around me, I think. But it's actually from me because I don't release the pressure. Okay? Maybe it's a lot of words here now, but I think you understand what I mean. Everything is about learning different tools to release the pressure. And then this meeting with this employee will not be as bad as it was before.
And a lot of these programs and these feelings come up from our subconscious mind. So that's what's running us 95% of the time. That's subconscious feelings, patterns. And when we get conscious about that, we live a much freer life. with more pleasure and presence.
100%. Right. This is almost exactly what I spoke about earlier. I was jumping a little bit, but this is. So if you look at the first picture over there, many of us have experienced this. We are supposed to, not supposed to, we're going into a situation or a meeting or going to complete a task or whatever it is. It doesn't matter. Every experience we have from a similar situation earlier, we carry with us. It's like this, the depression we have on our back, but we don't understand it because no one ever told us that past experiences gets trapped in your nervous system like a backpack of not healthy energies. But when you learn that you don't have to understand all the physical emotions in your body, you just have to empty it in different ways. When you release that physical pain in your body, I will say one more time, you don't have to go through the same situation again. Because you don't have the backpack of all your other crappy experiences with you, right? And this is very easy. I can tell you one very short story. My dear Sandra was supposed to be here today, and when she heard that she was going to stand here, she was about to faint. I thought, she said, "Oh my God!" I said, "What's your problem?" And I don't know. I felt like I was going to faint when I was seeing myself standing on a stage. And I said, "Why?" And she said, "I need to check into that." And she sit down, located the feeling, the emotion she was feeling in her body. She was focusing only on that emotion. It was getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And when it was almost completely gone, she saw a picture in her mind when she was like 9 years old, standing in front of her class, going to have a presentation, and people were laughing at her. So she was having a panic attack today when she was 35 years old from a situation she experienced for like 30 years ago, 25 years ago. Do you understand what I mean? And when she drained the old emotion from that, and not only from that one, from all the other times she was standing on stage, because she thought it was a stage fight, but she was not a straight fight. She just had a very bad experience when she was small that she has not removed from the system, right? So this is very easy. If we go around with it, it will tear us down. As everybody else in here today said, everything is eating up inside. Lisa, not Lisa, yes? Like breathe, do that a few times, change your life. This is not hocus pocus. You can feel it after 3 minutes. It's different now. So everything that you do, if you understand and you experience the effect of it once, you will also understand it's very easy to use. And when you understand it's easy to use, you can also understand, okay, people around me don't need to feel these emotions in this way anymore. They just need to release them. All right. And that's what we want to do with My Own Life. We want to work with companies to release the bad emotions they have inside of themselves. Not only that, we want to learn how to do it. So when you go into the same situation, this is with the backpack of your whatever it was. This is the same situation also, but not with the backpack. Very easy.
And we see that we've learned a lot today by listening to you other speakers, what we should bring into our presentations in the future. But we have some business cards with us that you can contact us via. And these are the things that we want to focus on in the future. Bringing more safety, a regulated nervous system, focus, and culture and community.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So please feel free to contact us if you want to learn anything. I just want to say one thing next. Sorry. If you are in a situation where you have work with people that are not focused, that need motivation or whatever, please contact us. We have very many customers, privately and in business, in Sweden. I just want to say in Sweden that can vote for us, and our techniques are working. Thank you.